Hello. Hello, Mukunda. Can you see us?
I can see you.
Can you see us and hear us?
Someone holding a folder, though. Who is that?
Okay, great. We are very happy to have you here to talk to you. And we just watched the movie and we really enjoyed it. It's a really amazing story, amazing film. So maybe first, can you tell us about maybe how did everything started? How did you, after you met the directress Crystal Moselle, how did you actually decided to do the documentary about your family? Because you were like in an apartment for 18 years and then you let someone to make a documentary about you. How did this happen?
First up, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm so glad everyone loved the film and was touched by it. How it all started was after we met on the street. She was filming us around doing projects of our own. We didn't plan on making a full-length documentary just yet. But after we were hanging out her for a while, we got comfortable sharing our story with her, and she was amazed and blown by it. She asked us if she could do a film with her on our lives. And that's how the film came to be. And we said yes. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Hi, also from me. Congrats on the film. How did it feel being part of making an actual movie? Was it a dream come true?
It was different than I had experienced, but because we were the subjects of the film, I'm more interested in being behind the camera, which I got to be for a little bit. The scene where my mother calls my grandmother is a scene that I actually shot and set up. So that part, and the fact that everyone always brings up that particular scene of how powerful it was, that part's a huge dream come true for me. It just means that maybe I do have some skills as a director, even way back then. But to be a part of this film and to have it traveling the world and coming to you guys, it is a dream come true. It's amazing the lengths it's reached in the world. It's amazing the people and the massive audience it has reached into the world. I never expected the impact the film had like this. So yes, is it a dream come true? Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Can you tell us why the title Wolfpack?
So the title came up with one of Crystal's friends, Haretzi, who's a very good friend of ours. She's a producer as well. And she said, you guys always stick together. You're like a pack of wolves. And the name stuck. And we all thought that sounded pretty cool. The wolf pack, a group of wolves together, never breaking apart, always sticking together when the time comes or when the time is needed. So that's how the title came, and that's how it stuck. It was because we look like a pack of wolves.
Okay, are there any questions from the public? Vprašanje z publike mogoče? Aha, prvo pa kasneje.
Don't be shy.
What did your dad think about the movie?
What my dad thought about the film was he considered it very educational and he praised it. He said it's very honest and it's told in a very cinematic and beautiful way. So he loved it as well. He says it's right on, in other words.
And your mom, and how did the film actually affect, apart from going all over the world, how did it really affect your lives?
All of our lives. It affected it in the most positive way because our entire childhood we've been trapped into this world, and now, just like 5 years later, there was no middle ground. Now we're into this spotlight. And we're going to all these sorts of places that we'd only seen in movies and dreamed of going or jamming or having a drink in. I've yet to come to your country, which I would love to someday. Someday I will. And, the film beat me to it.
you're very welcome in Slovenia.
Amazing, thank you. But it has changed our lives. We exploring the world and meeting all kinds of beautiful people and different cultures. It's all been really amazing, and couldn't have asked for anything more.
Okay, so film have played. Film have played a great part in your life way before the Wolfpack, but this one literally changed your life. Can you tell us more about it? How it changed your life? Because did it maybe helped the Wolfpack? Did it maybe helped you to start working with the film because you appeared in the Wolfpack?
It has. It also helped me learn about going on tour with a film, watching movies all our lives, and using DVD extras and showing us how it is to actually promote a film. We actually promoting the film worldwide and all across America, all over Europe, all over Asia. It's really helped us understand what it means and takes to really promote your film and make sure it's seen by a massive wide audience. So it's changed my life, and professionally and as well as personally, because of all the places I've gotten to go and all the amazing people I've gotten to meet. It's just been one roller coaster adventure after another. But it's also helped us gain huge opportunities here in the US as well in Europe and London. I recently came back from London doing a TEDx teen talk with the organization. I spoke at an event that inspires youthful people, where I told my story. So it's helped us gain a lot of opportunities like that, and it's also giving us bigger budgets for our films.
So how came that you were so well dressed in the film? Because you were, although you were almost all the time in apartment.
Movies helped us style ourselves, and a lot of our clothes that you see us wearing, suits and ties and shirts, we actually found them on the street. And we found out that there was a friend who owned a clothing store, and she was giving this stuff out for free: suits, shoes, ties, and everything. And she would wash them and clean them and put everything just out on the street and wait for everybody to, anybody who wanted to grab them would go and grab them.
So you traveled the world and met lots of very famous people from the film stars. Can you share with us the most interesting, exciting moments when you met some film star?
David O. Russell from The Fighter was a huge excitement for me, as well as Jonathan Nolan, meeting him at Sundance, who's the brother of Christopher Nolan, who wrote some of the Dark Knight screenplays. Who wrote the Dark Knight screenplay, actually. And Werner Herzog was quite a moment for me as well. He shared with us a story about how he saved Joaquin Phoenix's life, which is amazing. He's like a god.
So do you watch movies differently now after you've been a part of making Wolfpack?
I don't watch it differently. I would say after I've seen the film, then I start to think about what they had to go through to promote this film, or what they had to do to get this film done. So I would say I view it after I've seen it, because when I'm watching it, I don't want to think about anything or anything. I just want to get sucked into the movie and understand the filmmaker's point of view or the audience's point of view. Who's that woman in the glasses? She's got blonde short hair, and she's got... Yes, you. That's you.
Oh, Bojana. She's one of the greatest film fans here in Ljubljana, in Slovenia. They made a podcast about your film.
You look a lot like a film character, which is why I pointed you out. Your glasses.
Yeah, just call me, I'll act in any movie you make.
Oh, laskati.
Okay, the last question. Do you have any plans of making your own movie?
Absolutely. Feature films is my ultimate goal, and right now we're making bigger films and longer films as a practice to master our filmmaking craft. So you will definitely be seeing more of our bigger and feature films in the future, and coming to your country as well, if you'll have us.
Thank you.
Torej, are there any questions from the audience? Vprašanje z publike. Aha, tam imamo mikrofon. Microphone, please.
Hey, actually I have two questions. The first one is, how come you were so comfortable? I mean, considering that you lived with these, with a small amount of people for so long and you were so intimate with them, how come you let this director just come into your life and you felt so comfortable that you know, it was all right to share all of these things, how your family worked, and I mean, how did that work?
When she first came into our lives, we were very, I don't want to say protective, but we were very, a little, not step-offish, but not just diving into stuff at first. But the more we hung out with her and the more we realized what kind of person she was, it's her passion for our story that we really decided to tell it and let her film our lives and see it. And since we anticipated to be filmmakers ourselves, we understood her view as a filmmaker from one point to another. So we understood her version and what she wanted to tell and where she wanted it to go. And another reason how we connected so well is she was a filmmaker and she loved movies as much as we did.
And just maybe a bit too personal, you can say you don't want to answer or anything, but I was just wondering if you still have like problems, all of you brothers have problems with like socializing. I mean, you didn't socialize with any other people, so coming into like a bigger world must have been a new, exciting, kind of maybe scary experience with a lot of new people. But would you say you have some issues, or like would you say socializing is more difficult?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It feels like I've never been in an apartment, honestly. That whole experience feels like a dream, but I don't treat it like a dream. But when I think back on it, it really feels like a movie now, honestly. I don't know. I don't take anything from it, and yeah, I can interact with anybody in the world right now.
Okay, vprašanja?
Hi. My question is also like a personal question, so you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. So one day, when and if you have children, what will you do differently than your parents?
Well, I will not keep them in an apartment, for one thing. It's not. I just want to first clarify that it wasn't my parents that kept me inside. It was just my dad. My mom was kept inside just as much as we were, so she was a victim of it as much as we were. I just wanted to point that out before I said anything else. How I would raise my kids is the best way I can, or the best way any parent could think of. Raise them in an environment that they're happy in, but don't spoil them. It's a key thing as well. And I'll probably shove movies into their face all the time.
Vprašanja, še kaj? Another question? Še?
Firstly, I want to say thank you so much. Fantastic movie.
Thank you.
I see that fear is actually quite a big theme in the film as well. You know, this idea of, you know, being afraid of being outside or being social or experiencing new things that you're not used to. And you obviously overcame that beautifully. And I was wondering if you have any advice for people who struggle with anxiety for conquering your fears.
That's a very good question.
Thank you.
How I always think or say, anybody with fear or worried about what's going to go down or how it's going to go down, think on this. You only live once, and this moment is going to come once in your life. You can either go through it and let a negative impact come over you, or let a positive impact come over you. What I usually do is I hum some of my favorite music that inspires me or motivates me to forget all about what could go wrong and start thinking about what could go right instead. So fear was kind of like is always going to be part of your life. It's always going to be there. It's more about knowing how to deal with it or how to push the chip off the shoulder. So it's really about finding your own way to deal with it. But what I can say is don't let it overcome you. It will stall you in life, and it will stop you from doing things you've always wanted to do. It'll stop you from achieving your goals. So as of right now, everybody in the audience, just let it all go. It's no use to you. Fear is one of the most dangerous impacts on life, but it's a part of us as well, and it's a part of everybody. So it's going to come on you no matter what. Even if you feel so fearful about talking to a person or going on stage in front of millions of people, you're worried what they're going to think of you. That kind of fear is going to come back again and again and again and again and again, no matter what. And it'll be in a different format. It'll be, you're worried how you're going to make a mistake. You're worried how you're not going to do something right. You're worried how you're going to get your hair cut. You're worried how you're going to dress, how people are going to think of you. It'll always come. What I can say is just kick it off and find the positive side in your life. Find out what can help you kick it off. If you need to talk to someone, or if you need to go through I don't know, a party to really kick it off, go for it, go do it. But don't ever let it control you or intimidate you, because it will slow you down. So kick it off.
Thank you so much.
Questions? Vprašanja? Questions? Are there any questions? Okay, so here in Ljubljana, Slovenia, we are planning a new festival for youngsters. I hope you can see me now. Okay. We are planning a new festival for youngsters. It's called Kinotrip. It's a combination of words, cinema and trip.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, after you've been in an apartment for 18 years, how is it to you to travel? You probably like to travel. So are you traveling a lot now?
I am. I recently came back from Michigan. It was my grandmother's 90th birthday. And before that, I was in London, and I traveled from London to Michigan. And before that, we were in South America and the west coast of America. And I also traveled to Sweden and Denmark, and my brothers traveled to Germany and Italy. I also traveled to Switzerland, and I went to 10 different cities all over the UK. So I have been traveling a lot, and I'm going to Boston next week, actually, to do another one of these, a Q&A.
Wow, great. Dreams of everybody. So any questions, any more questions for Mukunda? Ima še kdo kakšno vprašanje? It's a special opportunity to talk to him now. Aha, tam gore. A je vprašanje? Mislim, da imamo tam gore vprašanje. Tam gore vprašanje. A ne, ni. Okay. So, no more questions? Oh.
Are you gonna watch Oscars? Do you care for them at all?
Did I what?
Do you care for them at all? Because my question was, who do you want to win this year?
I'm hoping The Revenant will win. I love that film. It's really powerful. And we also had a Revenant experience here in New York. We had a blizzard, which came out and rolled in. That was a great experience. And I'm not too sure about watching the Oscars. I think in the end I probably will if some friend invites me over, or if anything. But there's not so many... The films that are being nominated, I don't really think they're the best performances or the best films to be nominated. I'm sad Star Wars didn't make it in the Best Picture category. Mad Max got it instead. Yeah. So I think in the end I'll probably watch it, but I really hope The Revenant wins. That's what I'm going for.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is your favorite film of all times? Do you know anyone?
Oh,
Tough question.
that is a tough question. It depends on the mood, I guess. I think my favorite film right now is the new Star Wars film, The Force Awakens, because I'm such a Star Wars nerd. And I dressed up in Darth Vader when I went to watch the film. But a film I always come back to for guidance, or always remember why I wanted to become a filmmaker, or how I wanted to become a filmmaker, is one of the Batman films by Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, The Dark Knight. I always come back to look for why do I want to be a filmmaker? Why am I into filmmaking again? I always watch this film and go, oh, that's why, because of this movie.
Okay, a question from the public, from the audience.
Hi, I just want to ask, because you were walking all around in suits and people looked at you like, who are those guys? So now maybe when you walk on the street and maybe people recognize you because of the movie and maybe want to talk to you, how does that feel? Or so people recognize you on the street?
I'm getting a lot of that now, especially in New York, and I surprisingly got a lot of it in Europe as well, which I didn't expect. But it's similar to when we first started going out, because when we were first going out, we were all dressed in suits, wearing shades, and everybody would come up to us and ask, can we take a picture with you? Can we take a selfie with you? And we go, what's a selfie? I don't know what that is. But it's similar to that experience, only now they're asking about our story and about our film. And we kind of get asked the same question every time, what are you doing now? Or how is that experience like? And of course, you can only say, go and watch the film to really know what the experience felt like. But I think we've gotten the hang of it. It's pretty, I don't want to say normal at first, but we're kind of used to it now. And most of the people that come up to us are really nice and are really touched by the film. So we always sit down with them and talk to them for a while and answer any of their questions.
Whoa, you're a film star now.
Oh.
So, any more questions? Še kakšno vprašanje? Okay, v redu, pa lahko zaključimo. So, thank you very much for your time. I hope you can see me now. It's okay. Yeah, great. So, thank you for your time, and you're very warmly welcome to our festival here in March. So, goodbye. Thank you very much. It was cool to talk to you.
Can I say one thing before we leave?
Of course.
This Saturday, actually, it was the 6-year anniversary. I walked out the front door for the first time. It was 2 days ago. Glad to be sharing the first Q&A. This is actually the first Q&A in the new year and the first Q&A after the anniversaries with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. And I'm so happy you love the film and were touched by it.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.